3325, and this is RoboZone.
Welcome back to State Champs as we get into what took place this past week in Michigan high school robotics. Now, we call this part of the show State Champs RoboZone, and we're presented by First in Michigan. What can you say about week 2 of the Stronghold competition? Well, you're about to find out. I'll be joined by 2 of the best in the business, Jim Zondag and Dan Kimura. Just 3 district competitions to discuss this week, plus we update the state rankings. And did you know robotics competitions begin as early as elementary school? Stephanie Funkhauser will give you an inside look at First's Lego League. Let's get to the action, shall we? We begin at Battle Creek Lakeview.
To Lakeview we go, and we got our first look at a bunch of powerhouses who had yet to tangle in the Stronghold arena this year. Add to that mix, 10 rookie teams making their FRC debut. Let's quickly review some of the key aspects of Stronghold. Teams open the scoring by crossing the defenses in the middle of the field. Goals can be scored on both the low and the high targets. And finally, during the last 20 seconds of a match, teams can scale the tower for a bonus of 25 points. Now, let's head to the games. Coming out of qualifying, the Zeeland team, built on brains, emerged as the top seed. They chose to partner up with the Bloomfield Hills Bionic Blackhawks and Paw Paw High School to round out their alliance. That top-seeded coalition looked to be the ones to beat entering the elimination rounds, but they were the ones who started back on their heels. The number 8 alliance, led by the Hastings Robo-Saxons, grabbed an early lead in the first match. This forced the number 1 alliance to throw everything they had at the opposing tower, and in the final seconds, the number 1s were able to secure a 1-point victory as they survive a tough quarterfinal battle to move on. Would the second seeds have as much trouble? They would, and more. The number 7 alliance, composed of Houghton, Calumet, and Matawan, stunned their higher-ranked opponents with a blowout win in match 1, and then able to hang on for a 3-point victory in match 2. Job done, but not finished. The upset train was not done rolling through Battle Creek. The number 3 alliance found themselves in a fight with the 6 seed. Led by a great performance by the rookie squad from East Grand Rapids, the number 6 alliance crossed the obstacles with ease and were able to score another upset in the Lakeview district. To the semifinals, where the number 1 seed held serve over the 4 squad, but the level of interest was very high on the other side of the bracket, where the 6th and 7th alliances were set to battle for a berth in the finals. Once again, East Grand Rapids and their ability to hang with their scissor lift helped the number 6 squad capture match 1. With contributions coming from Battle Creek, Harper Creek, and Gobles as well, the 6th seed held on in a classic skirmish in match 2, winning 115-114, setting themselves up for a showdown with the top squad in the title tilt. Number 1 showed why they were the team to beat, with the 2 robots from Zeeland and Bloomfield Hills effectively scoring on the 5-point high goal, while number 6 was limited by only scoring 2-point low goals. Combined with the tower capture at the end, match 1 went to the number 1 alliance. Match 2 was much of the same. Despite a valiant defensive effort by East Grand Rapids, the offensive pressure from Team B.O.B., the Bionic Blackhawks, and Paw Paw, too much to overcome, they capture the Battle Creek Lakeview District Championship.
We are Team 5462, 2-Ball Robotics, and this is RoboZone.
All right, so let's talk about Battle Creek Lakeview. To help me do that is our friend and rock star, Jim Zondag. Hey, Jim, we saw some upset in the quarters here, and that just adds to the excitement, right?
That's right. We're seeing more upsets this year, Lauren. I think it's because a lot of these teams are learning new tricks, how to play this game. Defense really comes into play, certainly in the early rounds of the playoffs, and teams aren't ready for that because it really doesn't get played in qualifying. So we're seeing a lot of upsets this year.
All right, Jim, so as we kind of wrap up Lakeview, what really stood out to you?
I saw two things, Lauren, that really stood out. Number one, this was the first time in Michigan this year, at least, that we've seen people adding things to robots specifically for the playoffs. So the Red Hot Chili Bots, we saw them add a blocker to their robot. 5980, they were basically the anchor on that number 6 alliance that made it all the way to the finals. They really had a great combination of playing defense, getting terrain crossings, but then they had a 15-point hanger at the end that they were using every match of the playoffs, and it really almost won the tournament for them. It was really amazing for a first-year team.
All right, Jimmy, thanks a lot. We will see Jim a little bit later to talk about Kettering.
Hey fans, I'm Stephanie Funkhauser, and next up we head over to Southwest Michigan to St. Joseph, where the competition stayed strong. Also, we'll give you an inside look at how FIRST is giving younger students a chance to get a head start in the world of robotics. All of that is next on State Champs RoboZone.
We want you.
We are Lawrence Technological University, and we don't want just anyone.
We want the brainiacs, visionaries, geniuses, and game changers. We want the students who will change the world through technology, science, business, and design.
So if you're ready to explore your possibilities,
We want you at LTU.
Lawrence Tech, possible is everything.
Genius is not born. It's nurtured. It's curious. Genius takes teamwork, patience. It keeps going until that moment when it shines. Introducing the Generation Genius Project, a consumer's energy educational initiative to inspire a passion in science, technology, engineering, and math. Discover the genius in all of us.
Fundraising should be fresh, flavorful, and simple. We have the perfect solution at Hungry Howie's, Dough Raiser. Your nonprofit organization can sell paper pizza certificates that your customers can redeem for one medium pizza at participating Hungry Howie's locations. Go to doughraiser.com to learn about, sign up for, and order everything Dough Raiser. Request a Dough Raiser kit for your group today. Your next fundraiser comes with flavored crust. Welcome to Hungry Howie's Dough Raiser.
Welcome back to State Champs. This is State Champs RoboZone, and we're recapping the week in Michigan high school robotics. Dan Kimura joining me now on set. Now, there were two districts out on the west side of the state last week. We showed you Battle Creek Lakeview. Now let's check out what went down at St. Joseph.
The St. Joe district was loaded. 14 previous district champions competing over the weekend. No lack of experience in the field at this event. We've had our eyes out for unique and different approaches to the Stronghold game, and Strike Force from the Kalamazoo County 4-H Club debuted a new way to manipulate the boulders and cross defenses. That successful innovation earned them the number 1 seed and the top pick in the Alliance draft. Strike Force opted to go with Edwardsburg High School and the hometown team, the Average Joes from St. Joseph. During the quarterfinals, on one side of the bracket, some eye-popping numbers caught the attention of fans at the event. The number 3 alliance of Suttons Bay, Fruitport, and Berrien Springs exploded in their quarterfinals matches, burying high goal after high goal to produce scores of 145 and 157. They were moving on. In the semifinals, it seemed like the number 1 alliance wanted to prove they too could put up a big number, and they took it out on the 5 seed. Strike Force and the Average Joes combined to deposit 8 shots into the high goal. That set the event high score at 174 and put themselves into the finals. On the other side, things got very interesting between the number 2 and number 3 seeds. The high-flying number 3 alliance continued their high-scoring ways, putting up a 160 score and easily winning match number 1. In match 2, the 2 seed of Wyoming High School, Grand Haven, and Virus from Monroe managed to score on both the low and the high goal, setting themselves up for the tower capture to win the match and force this one to a deciding game. In match 3, both teams scoring at will. The difference proved to be the effective high shot, as the number 3 alliance outscored number 2 5-2 up top, with both alliances able to capture the tower and score a hang. It came down to those point differences, and number 3 scores a win to move on to the finals. Both alliances knew it would take their best effort in this finals matchup, and it looked like the number 1s saved their best performance for last. They opened match 1 by dropping 11 shots in the high goal, most scored by any team in the state of Michigan so far this season. In the second match, the Average Joes and Strikeforce continued their barrage on the high goal, while the Iron Giants of Edwardsburg continued solid defense to the team effort. That combination would be all they would need, as St. Joseph, Kalamazoo Strikeforce, and Edwardsburg received a well-deserved district crown.
The atmosphere here is just awesome. I mean, there's just so much energy with all the teams. I mean, all the dancing and the music and just all the cheering. It feels great.
I don't know, you can't really describe it. Our robot broke down, but we still won, which was great. We had 2 great partners, great. They were just amazing. The Average Joe's 3620 and Strikeforce.
All right, let's talk about St. Joseph. Dan the Man Kimura in the house. And Dan, scoring was up at this district. We know that. Is that simply because the teams have made the necessary adjustments?
I think, we're getting a little bit later into the season. Teams have had a little bit more time to work on their robots. That's definitely part of it. We might just have seen a really good crop.
Well, we saw that the high goal shot really came into play in the semifinals. Teams seem to be making adjustments, also becoming more accurate.
Yeah, especially our winning alliance. We had 3620, the Average Joes, and we had 2767, Strikeforce. Both of those robots were great high goal shooters.
Thank you, Dan. He'll be back along with Jim to talk about our District of the Week from Kettering University. But first, many of the competitors you see at the games have literally grown up in first. And it all begins with Lego League. Stephanie Funkhauser has the story.
The competitions you see on this show are part of the First Robotics High School varsity level, but there are also opportunities for students to get involved before they get to high school. I had a chance to attend a First Lego League competition and see how younger kids are getting their start in robotics.
We've seen over and over and over as we've helped start teams and have events, the same pattern plays itself out. Kids come in, they're interested in being on a team, and then it really gives them confidence as they're in that crucial age to know that they can become engineers, they can become computer scientists, things that they might have thought, oh, that's really hard.
One thing about First Lego League is the students do the work. The programming, the robot design, developing the project, doing the interviews and the presentations for the project. It's all student-led. So it's really important. It's a great way to get the kids introduced, and who doesn't love Lego?
In Michigan, 4th and 5th grade students compete in First Lego League, where they work on different projects and develop a simple robot that can complete tasks on a game board. From there, students in middle school can compete in First Tech Challenge, a more advanced program that helps prepare them for the high school level. But what we at State Champs heard over and over was not only the praise for the technical skills the kids were learning, but also the lessons being taught in supporting one another.
But there's a positive energy. Everyone can have fun and everyone can work together. So everyone has to help each other. Even if your opponent's having a problem, you have to go and you have to help them to make everyone better. It's just really super exciting.
It is so amazing to go to these events and not see teams putting teams down, but actually helping teams, giving them parts that they need or showing them their programs and things of that nature. There's a giant amount of competition, and yet there's a tremendous amount of camaraderie between the teams. And that's the really, really neat part of this program.
With that kind of teamwork and a wealth of positive experiences, it's not surprising that students of all ages are having fun, and robotics participation is growing throughout Michigan.
My favorite part is working with everybody. We get to have a lot of fun with each other on the board, and we just get to work together.
I say the teamwork, just having fun with your friends and building. Our middle school program grew by leaps and bounds. We put on almost 100 new schools this year that are participating. And our junior Lego League, which is kindergarten through third grade. So it is crazy. We are growing the entire STEM pipeline, starting in kindergarten all the way up through high school. So anyone that's interested, we've got money for you, and we want you here, right next to us next season.
Coming up, a showdown between some of the top teams in the state at Kettering University. And will the result change anything on Jim and Dan's rankings? Stay tuned to find out next on State Champs RoboZone.
For over 30 years, we've been the leading supplier of robots, CNCs, and factory automation to American manufacturing. We help companies reach production goals locally and globally with bringing manufacturing back to North America. Our innovative technologies provide world-class quality and efficiency. We train, educate, and develop highly skilled workers, harnessing the power of man and machine together. We are the future of manufacturing. We are FANUC America.
We want you. We are LTU, Lawrence Technological University, and is one of the nation's best schools for engineering, architecture, and technology. We don't want just anybody. We want students who are curious and driven, students who want to change the world through technology, science, and design. So if you believe that possible is everything, we want you at LTU.
Hungry Howie's founded flavored crust, but how can we really own flavor?
One word, brand extensions. Behold, butter cheese toothpaste.
You actually made a tube of toothpaste.
Not just one, check it. I got sesame, Asiago cheese, onion.
Where are these coming from?
I've got an intern.
Really?
Hey, order online and get a meal deal for any size budget.
Hungry Howie's!
Genius is not born. It's nurtured. It's curious. Genius takes teamwork, patience. It keeps going until that moment when it shines. Introducing the Generation Genius Project, a consumer's energy educational initiative to inspire a passion in science, technology, engineering, and math. Discover the genius in all of us.
Welcome back to State Champs RoboZone. Dan and Jim are here, and we've got one more district to show you. Second week in a row at Kettering University, and this one was the most anticipated competition of the week.
We saw highlights from a great event last week at Kettering, so you know we expected more of the same this time around. And we got it. Qualifying saw some familiar programs as the top seeds, including Goodrich's More Martian Squad. They won the week before at Kettering, so naturally, they were hungry for a Blue Banner sweet repeat as they formed an alliance with Davison and Brown City. The rest followed suit. Lots of the top-ranked squads representing in the playoffs were stacked for some big-time brouhahas. To the quarterfinals, we saw a scintillating scoring strategy between the number 4 and number 5 alliances. The 4s were led by Bloomfield's Las Gorillas. They buried enough low goals to weaken the tower and allow them to capture it in the final seconds. Those 25 points handed them the 134-110 victory. They were moving on. The number 1s and 2s were advancing, so the focus shifted to the final quarters tilt between the 3 and 6 alliance. The 6 team was comprised of Brighton, St. Clair County's 4-H group, and Sanford Meridian High School. They came to play and demonstrated some nice teamwork from the get-go, opening up the drawbridge, allowing teammates to cross that defense, taking advantage of some of their opponents' miscues. The number 6 alliance capitalized for the win in match 1, and then continued to bring it in match 2. There they go, hanging the tower, getting the victory, punching their ticket to the semifinals. That's where we go next. Number 1 facing number 4, and it turned out to be a plethora of points. Scoring early and often in the autonomous round gave the favorites the advantage. Davison's House of Cards scaling the tower, clinching match 1. Number 1 stayed strong in the next battle. Their high shot and an awesome goal-scoring ability enabled them to claim the tower bonus. The House of Cards never folding. Decisive victory. In the other semi, The 6th Alliance embracing their underdog role, full of momentum as they took on the number 2 seed. Volatile Chaos out of Meridian High School had their high goal shooter working, notching up 3 of the 4 top shelfers. They also cleared that 8-goal hurdle to open up the tower capture bonus. Smooth sailing, match 1 win. In the second game, defense stepped up. I'm talking about the number 2 Alliance. Going into the final moments and needing a tower scale for the win, things look set for Almont High School to send us to a third game when all of a sudden their attempted climb fails. Oh no! The 6th Alliance still alive as they knock off a second straight high seed to advance to the Kettering District Finals. Would the clock strike midnight on Cinderella in the finale? We're about to find out. Here we go. Both squads got up to a fast start in the autonomous mode, but the favorite top seed shaky in their efforts. The 6th seed still rolling. Check this. The 6th Alliance just whomped the ones by almost a 50-point differential. Match 2 was a different story. The favored acted like it, working it, pouring in goals, setting up Davison to once again scale the tower, grab the bonus, and send us to a rubber match for all the marbles. In the decider, the top Alliance grabbed the early lead as both Goodrich and Davison were scoring boulders, but in a twist of fate, a loose boulder blocked them from crossing the defense, forcing Davison to try an unusual maneuver, and there she blows, the turtle tip over. Up by a robot, number 6 seized the occasion, collecting their breach bonus, scoring goals, and finishing off their fantastic run by claiming the Kettering University District Championship. Nice job.
After we won the second game, we just had this motion that we were just going to keep going over and over again. It was just it was really positive. It was amazing.
We hope to continue with where we're going at states now that we've qualified for states after that, and we hope to do it our second competition. We hope to do just as well and see how far we can go from there.
For a rookie team to be able to get that far as an Alliance captain and win, just to do that is amazing in and of itself. When we started, we didn't even have a build site to begin, and we come and we win Kettering.
All right, so as expected, things ran smoothly at Kettering. Helps when you host 2 weeks in a row. Jim and Dan are back at the desk joining me. And gentlemen, our first true Cinderella story of the year. The number 6 Alliance puts on the glass slipper, claims the blue banner.
It was really a miraculous win. 59-26, RoboMoose really putting it down, showing some of those veterans how to get it done at the 2nd Kettering District.
Yeah, it was a matter of consistency, I think. There were alliances that were putting up higher scores than them, but they didn't when it mattered.
Right, Jim, what do you make of the deep runs made by some of these lower ranked teams that we're seeing, this week?
Again, I think it's proper teamwork, really. When you play in qualifying, you're really playing as an individual for your score to seed top in qualifying. But really, when you put an assemblage of 3 teams together, it's really teamwork that's going to win these tournaments.
It's almost time for everyone's favorite part of the show. Dan and Jim have their rankings ready, and the debate surrounding their new top 10 is next on State Champs RoboZone.
Your home for high school sports is Michigan's original high school sports show, State Champs. For over a decade, the multiple Emmy Award-winning State Champs covers all sports statewide, 40 weeks a year. Catch State Champs Sundays at 9 a.m. on Fox Sports Detroit and StateChampsNetwork.com.
We want you.
We are Lawrence Technological University, and we don't want just anyone.
We want the brainiacs, visionaries, geniuses, and game changers. We want the students who will change the world through technology, science, business, and design.
So if you're ready to explore your possibilities,
we want you at LTU.
Lawrence Tech. Possible is everything.
For over 30 years, we've been the leading supplier of robots, CNCs, and factory automation to American manufacturing. We help companies reach production goals locally and globally with bringing manufacturing back to North America. Our innovative technologies provide world-class quality and efficiency. We train, educate, and develop highly skilled workers, harnessing the power of man and machine together. We are the future of manufacturing. We are FANUC America.
Welcome back to State Champs RoboZone. And what do they say about robotics, boys? It's the only varsity sport where every kid can turn pro. And you know we're drumming up conversation when we get emails ripping our rankings. So people are paying attention. Jim and Dan, the floor is yours.
Okay, I've got some changes in my rankings this week. A couple of the additions. I brought 4 new teams into my top 10. These are the 4 winners, 2 each from St. Joe's and from Lakeview District. So in 10th, I moved the Kalamazoo Strike Force, 2767. Into 6th, I've got Team 85, Team Bob from Zeeland, Michigan. In 7th, I've got the Bionic Blackhawks from Bloomfield Hills. And moving all the way up into 5th place, I've got the Average Joes from St. Joseph.
Yeah, and I put the same 4 teams into my top 10 as well for the same reason. They played well, won their event. It's kind of like a balance when we do these rankings between how they performed at the event. Did they win? Did they finish second? As well as, you know, the eye test. How good were they playing? Were they scoring goals? The one team I added that I think you didn't is 3688, the Norsemen. They were second at St. Joe's. St. Joe's, again, was a high-powered, high-scoring event. And they scored a lot of goals there to bring their alliance to the finals.
Yeah, so Dan, obviously the preseason rankings, pretty dynamic compared to where we are now. There's a lot of movement in our rankings. We have to guess at the preseason state, right? We look at the past history of these teams. We know there's a lot of history and depth in a lot of these teams. They've been around for years, but there's really no way to accurately predict the future. Teams have new students every year. They have new mentors, leadership changes, sometimes venue changes where they work. And every year the game and the challenge is different from first, and that really affects the total outcome.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. Preseason, we haven't seen anything. We've maybe seen a few pictures of some of the robots, but you know, there's a lot of guesswork there. And even during the season, I mean, from week to week, the robots are improving a lot. You know, we'll see a robot this week in week 2 was already competing way better than we saw last week, and it's going to get better and better every week. So teams are going to continue to jump to the top of my rankings just based on their performance that week.
All right, so what did we learn? These guys have no idea what they're talking about. So you can stop sending the hateful emails, okay? We're just kidding. Keep them coming. We love it. That's it for State Champs and State Champs RoboZone. Make sure you tune in next week for more robotics coverage from Week 3 district action. And it's all about the boys basketball semifinals and finals next week. Another championship edition of State Champs will be coming your way. We'll see you then. Thanks for watching.
State Champs and State Champs RoboZone is presented by Lawrence Technological University. Possible is everything. And First in Michigan, Michigan's premier provider of K-12 robotics programs. Also brought to you by FANUC America, the leading supplier of robots, CNCs, and factory automation. Sarah Chevrolet, the low payment people. Visit us at lowpayment.cars. Consumers Energy, encouraging your inner genius. Meijer, your destination for sporting goods and equipment. And Hungry Howie's Dough Raiser, your next fundraiser comes with flavored crust.